Today we have Alex, who is our other co-founder and CEO. So let's just get right into it and let's get Alex on the Go Pure Glow show and let's welcome him in the chat. So welcome, Alex. I'm so excited. You are on live with me tonight.
Hey, Stephanie. It's so great to be here. Been watching you do these and with Kaylee and the whole team for so long. It's really fun to be a part of it. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad that you are willing to be on the show. And I'm just really excited to be able to introduce you to our VIPs. They get to see your face, they get to hear your voice, and we get to share a bit more about Go Pure. And I have heard your skincare story before. You've had a personal journey with your own skin. You know how this journey can impact people. So can you please briefly share your experience with your own skin and how it has impacted you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know I just kind of shared this with the team more recently, but it definitely was a really big part of my life for a while, and it really affected me. Basically, when I was back in high school, I had like the worst acne you can imagine. I mean, it's, everybody has kind of teenage acne and hormonal levels, a lot of that causes it, but mine was like cystic, like just really bad. And so it really affected my life, especially at those teenage years. You're a lot more just you don't really know who you are yet, and so a lot of your appearance and what people think of you and how people see you, it kind of impacts how we feel about ourselves. And I felt terrible about myself. I was depressed, I was not happy, and I was miserable. Actually, I tried everything kind of on the market at the time, all kinds of different, benzoyl peroxide, natural thing, all kinds of things. Nothing worked. Eventually, I had to resort to a prescription drug. It was called Accutane, and it cleared up my skin pretty quickly, and actually just really dramatically changed my life. Like I went from being unhappy to being just a super happy kid. And it just, but then, speaking about like toxic ingredients and things like that, eventually it turned out Accutane can cause all kinds of like liver damage and depression and suicide. I've all gotten really bad stuff. I think it's maybe not even on the market anymore, but yeah. So, I mean, the point is that I definitely believe and understand how our face and the skin and all of our face is kind of the first impression that people see. It's how we see ourselves when we wake up and look in the mirror first thing in the morning, and it's really important to our like mental and physical well-being. And so that kind of philosophy and belief drives what we do at Go Pure, the way we create products, the thought and intention that we put into them. We really go above and beyond because we really understand this is like serious for people. It really can make a big difference and a big impact in people's lives.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. I get really frustrated when people act like skincare is not necessary or it's just this vain thing. I'm like, no, this is real life. Like how we feel in our own skin impacts how we present ourselves day in and day out. But I love that you mentioned, that really is who we are here. And this really is a family business too. I always want people to know this is a true family business. And I just love seeing you and Aaron with your family and how much you love your family, but this really is a family owned business. And can you give us just a background on the history of Go Pure, how we got started and kind of how we got to where we are now?
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely get into that. But I just do want to say that, it did start as a family business. At this point, we have such an incredible team. I mean, obviously, Stephanie, you are part of that team, and Kaylee also, everybody who's on our team. It's really grown way bigger than just Aaron and me at this point. It's the team that's driving everything from product development to education to marketing to supply, everything, all the parts of running a business. It's become more of that. And I know that all of you guys like really feel the same way, like feel really passionately about how do we really make an impact, positive impact in our customers' lives. Like every time we work on something or talk about anything, it's always from the perspective of how do we improve our customers' lives? How do we bring them value? How do we save them money? Whatever we can do basically. And like, we just believe that we'll grow a successful business by really giving our customers value first, and like that will grow over time just naturally. So, but yeah, how we started it. So Aaron and I were actually we were owners and running a online retail beauty business where we sold many different brands from many different categories. Makeup, hair, and skincare was one of those categories. And when you run a business like that, you're going to be very involved with what brands you're selecting and curating for your customers, what the reviews are coming in, what people are saying in their when you speak to the customers just directly, right? And so we kind of noticed this pattern over time that when it came to skincare, a lot of customers kind of had to settle for one side of it or the other. And so it would be like either people said, I just really need to get great results. Like, I don't care what's in there, right? Or they would say, I really don't want toxic stuff on my face. I'm going to have to not get the results. And the products that were on the market at the time were really on this like spectrum of these two extremes. It was either like dermatological, like medical grade skincare, where it did have a bunch of stuff in there that you don't want to be putting on your skin, or it was just like super like all the way organic products that just were good, weren't bad for you, but also didn't do much, right? And then often things would have ingredients in them also that would actually make people's skin worse, would make people's skin irritated or just sensitive, red, breakout, whatever it may be, which is the opposite of like what we're trying to accomplish, right? So we just decided to see maybe we can, bring some innovation to this market and basically combine, clean beauty, clean ingredients, non-toxic ingredients with packing the products with a lot of super effective active ingredients that do what they're supposed to do, are still, non-toxic, but definitely deliver results. And then we also said, let's see how we can intentionally actually price these products in a way that's accessible for people, much more so than these super expensive brands that you see at some of these prestigious stores. And that's not an easy thing to pull off, making products that are clean and effective and priced reasonable. It's not easy, and it was not an easy process, but we did end up pulling it off with our first product and then went from there, and constantly still trying to increase the standards on what clean beauty means to us, what effective ingredients mean to us. So with every product that we release, we're actually trying to take it to even the next level. So that's kind of the gist of it.
Yeah. And I always love just hearing you talk about it because, and I love that everyone here on this live gets to hear that from you. Cause I haven't told you, I'm like, I can say that a million times, but it really is a mission driven company that is so intentional with the being clean and being affordably priced and being clinically effective. I mean, it's so intentional. And I'm seeing some great questions already popping up. Someone's asking what our first product was. Do you remember, Alex?
Yeah, our first product was the Originals Vitamin C Serum, actually. Yeah. And so we actually initially introduced that to the customers from the beauty retail business that we had, and had a really positive response, and then went from there.
That's really cool. So a big part of this is that we really are a customer-centered company. And I love hearing about the VIP group because I feel like that the VIP group and our customers complete the picture. Because why do we care so much about clean products? Why do we care so much about them actually working? Why do we care if it's affordable? Because we want every single person to be able to have access to these and get the results that they want, so they can feel incredible in their own skin. But can you share a little bit about the VIP group, what that impact has had on you and Aaron as founders, if it gave you any like different perspective on the business, and what we're doing here?
Yeah, definitely. The VIP group is amazing. The engagement that goes on in there, how supportive people are of each other. People answer each other's questions. I know obviously like you guys do a lot in there as well, our educators, right? But it's cool to see people helping each other. And it just brings everything a little bit more to life. Yeah. We see obviously like, like for example, we have a policy, like we never delete negative reviews, like we're very transparent. Transparency and like honesty is a big part of the brand, right? But So we see great reviews coming in all the time. We see customers just emailing in, but with the VIP group, it was like, I don't know, something about it just made it way more real. People are posting before and after pictures. They're posting their stories. I think maybe it's just like more emotional of the stories that we're seeing in there, more real, maybe because the private group, people feel more comfortable sharing.
Mhm.
And I know when we first introduced it, it was just kind of like, oh, let's try this out, and pretty quickly it just blew up to like 16,000 members or something like that. I think this is in 2020. And it was just, to be honest, it was kind of like a little bit of like, wow, there's some pressure on it. Like it made it more real, like these are like, it just made it more real. These are real people. They're counting on us to make great products, to price them right, to just do right by them, and it was just like, okay, we have a mission here. We gotta do right by our customers, basically.
Yeah, and I think that that's important because I want everyone to know behind the scenes, we're always talking about every customer, and well, how are they going to feel about this, and how is this going to impact them? I mean, truly customer forward. And I love the VIP group because, like you said, we get to hear stories day in and day out and really see the impact of what we're trying to do here and accomplish. But you said something to me early on when I started here, about the VIP group that it really did impact me because, and I think it really ties together your personal story because you had a transformative experience with your skin and it impacted your confidence. And you mentioned that you actually saw that playing out day in and day out. And I love that I get to see that too. But yeah, I always love that story when you were really talking about that. You really connected with everyone's story because you had that experience on your own too.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, to this day, like, just so everybody knows, like, we're in there all the time, like, reading the comments, hearing your feedback, all the stuff you guys don't like about the packaging. We're listening, we're whatever it may be, like, we're paying attention. We really care about what our customers think and say and tell us. And so, that's just one part of it. Like, we're definitely hearing your feedback, but no, you're right. I mean, like I said, it just made it a lot more real. You're just seeing real customer raw emotional stories about how much Go Pure has improved their lives, has impacted their lives in a positive way, has improved their skin. And it's great. It's actually like, it's very fulfilling. It makes, like, we work hard at Go Pure. It's not easy to do what we do, clean beauty, effective and priced right. And, it's a competitive business. It's a competitive space. There are a lot of brands on the market, right? So even though we have what we believe are incredible products, some of the best on the market, it's not always easy to get heard amongst all the noise out there, right? So we all work really hard here. And when we see those stories, when we see people posting their photos, their success stories, it just makes it so much more worth it for us, what we do day in and day out.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we do it, like really that's when I see a before and after, I just geek out so much because we do work so hard, but we really do for the real people that use these products.
Absolutely.
So I saw someone ask, what is your favorite product?
I knew this would come up. And I mean, it's like asking me like which of my kids I love the most. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really hard to answer that question. But and as we release new stuff, sometimes it changes too.
Yeah.
Right now, I would say, again, it's hard to pick one. I would say the vitamin C oil is an incredible product. It's 30% vitamin C. It actually doesn't even require preservatives. Vitamin C doesn't oxidize it. You can put it next to any other vitamin C serum for 3 months. It'll look the same when the other one will oxidize. Yeah. And, it's a pricier formula for sure, because of what it is. It's one of the most innovative products on the market right now. So that's one of my favorites. Dramatically Dewy is definitely equal to that one, or I don't know. Yeah, incredible product. As you call it, liquid silk, it literally feels that way. That product I really love also because while most of our products deliver results over time, like maybe 30 days, 60 days, and the longer people use it, the bit more results. But that one, you could see the effects of the glow like almost immediately, even after applying it. And it's really cool. It's and just obviously knowing everything we put in there. So sorry to go off on a rant. I would say those two. The Firm and Lift is an incredible product. On a day-to-day basis, like personally, I use the vitamin C oil. I use a Dramatically Dewy. I'll alternate. I used to use the Firm and Lift a lot more, but these two kind of took over for me. So.
Well, you can use the vitamin C oil and the Firm and Lift together. Technically.
I know. It's just, like I said, it's hard. Like we have a lot of great products, I mean, I would use all of them if I could, but.
Well, okay. Since you mentioned Dramatically Dewy, I do want to chat about that for a second, because I think it's a really strong example of the evolution of our products, and us as a brand, us continually like staying true to that resolve of like innovative formulas, because skincare is, like you said, it's very competitive, but it's also constantly evolving. And the skincare, the timeline to develop products, especially when you are making something amazing and you're not going to compromise, right? It's not, you don't just come out with something in a month. And so you have to be constantly evolving. And I have my set of original serums right here. And I think that the Dramatically Dewy is a strong example of like where the brand started with the original hyaluronic acid serum, evolved into the Hydrate and Smooth serum that you can find in the Actives Trio. And then the Dramatically Dewy serum is, again, that next, even more advanced, evolved iteration of that. So can you chat kind of about that, like how we develop products just a little bit, working with chemists? I've heard you talk about I love talking about the pressure we put on them and how we do challenge them. And the Dramatically Dewy is just such a strong example of that. And maybe like that process, anything you want to add?
Absolutely. Yes. There's oftentimes we joke, about how much easier this would be if we didn't have like such high standards for what we, develop. And it's a joke because it is hard. It is hard to make things that, to the standards that we have. Like even to this day, most companies will either choose kind of like, results versus clean. Like it's hard to do both, and the price, the way that we try to price the products, it's also very challenging. So this particular product, I'm glad that you kind of brought this up, because this was the first product where initially we were like, all right, let's make products that combine the clean beauty and the effective ingredients, right? And it was just kind of like, what's the best we can do with this, right? This was the first product where we actually said, let's try to make this, even though it'll be clean ingredients, even better than the stuff that's not clean. Like as far as the texture, the absorption, the results, everything, right? So it is definitely an evolution, like you said. I think we're going to keep getting better and better. I know that, I don't want to get in trouble, but I know about some things that we have in the works, which is really exciting. And so, we're just constantly trying to get better. It doesn't mean that our previous products were not good, right? But if we can improve and create something even better, why not, right? We believe in that constant, improvement. And so, that product took a while actually to do and release. But at the end of the day, it's worth it. It's worth it to make a great product, even though it's harder and it takes a longer time, but we believe it's worth it. Yeah.
And, the Dramatically Dewy was one of the products that I got to kind of be a part of on, behind the scenes, just with like seeing the journey of it, I guess, is what I mean. And I just wish people knew, like, we really have such high standards, and you have a formula, but then it's like making it and making sure the texture stays the same and making sure that it stays this and this, and it layers with your other products. And there's so much that goes into it. And like you said, it would be a lot easier if we didn't care if they worked, or if we didn't care that they had to be clean. I mean, even our list of what we're not putting in our products is constantly evolving, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're staying up on all ingredient studies, all the science that comes out around skincare. It's an evolving thing. And, I think that's a good thing. I think that hopefully 5 years from now, our products will blow our current products away. you know, if we're
Yeah.
doing our job right. So, um, like you said, it's not easy, you know, but at the end of the day, like if it was easy, I guess every brand would be doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're doing something pretty innovative and different. So yeah, it's going to be challenging. We're okay with that.
Yeah. And I think that I'm seeing comments and stuff, especially like the dramatically dewy is a game changer. I love the dewy. Terry saying she loves hearing about the new products. And I saw someone just ask if it's okay for oily skin. Bonnie, yes, it is. And Kaylee and I are actually going to get into the details of the product too. So stay tuned when Kaylee's on. We're going to talk about, we are for sure going to talk about dramatically dewy quite a bit. But when we see that reaction, you know, and knowing that we had the original hyaluronic acid serum and the Hydrate and Smooth to come out with a product that is like, okay, but this is a serum with hyaluronic acid. When it's a top seller because it is that evolution. And like you said, it's necessary. If you kept the same products forever and ever and ever, you know, you wouldn't be doing your customers that service. We wouldn't be a truly customer-centered company if we weren't staying on the cutting edge of the skin science and still challenging what's clean and still working so hard day in and day out to make these products really responsibly priced. I mean, I know because I can look at an ingredient list and be like, oh yeah, this should be this much. Or I know a product that has a fraction of this in there. Like you mentioned the vitamin C oil. That form of vitamin C is the most expensive form of vitamin C on the market.
Yep.
And we
Very
use
expensive.
it at such, I mean, I know brands that have that ingredient in there at a fraction of what we have.
3%.
It's like $100+ product. I mean, really the intention behind it. I mean, these are such great products at such a great value. And it truly is like for our customers. And I love that. And I love that I get to see it all
Absolutely,
the time.
yeah. And you know, I just want to add on a little bit of a different note for all the customers watching right now. Like, just so you guys know, Stephanie and Kaylee put so much preparation into these lives. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity. Like, as you said, you guys are going to get into the details later. And honestly, you're going to explain it way better than I ever could or Aaron could. You guys really have a great asset here, and Stephanie and Kaylee being in the VIP group, doing these lives where you can literally ask questions directly of them. And they really just care so much. Like, I just know how much pressure they put on themselves before each one and how much preparation, like they really care. And so I just want all the customers to know that, like, this is kind of a special thing.
We are their SD besties. I care so much. I mean, I've had my own journey with my skin too, as an esthetician. And sometime maybe I'll kind of go into my story and why I became an educator, but I do care so much. Like, I want everyone to feel confident in their routine and their products and how to use it, because skincare is so subjective. It's not one size fits all. And I think it's important, especially as we launch new products. I know it would be so easy to just say, oh, get all the things and use them and whatnot. But we want you all to have just the products that are right for you, for your skin, for your routine. And I love being in the VIP group and getting to know you all and seeing the names pop up on here. It is just so much fun. So I'm seeing a lot of product questions. So this is a great opportunity. So I'm seeing questions about a tinted sunscreen, excited for sunscreen. I saw a question on a brow serum, eye primer, any additional sunscreen products in the works. So here's what I want everyone to do while Alex is on here, before we let him go and as they're choosing the winner. I want everyone to comment in the chat what products you want to see us work on here at GoPure. What do you want Alex to know?
Please.
You want us to have here at GoPure? This is such a great opportunity, because I'm seeing someone asking, will we be doing hair products? So there's so many things and ideas that you all have. So right now, I want you all in the chat. Let us know what you want to see here at GoPure.
Yeah, and just to answer that specific question, no specific plans to do hair products anytime in the near future. Maybe eventually. We feel like there's a lot more we could still do with skincare. There are a lot of we're missing some products like an acne line, for example, would be one example. Obviously, the SPF things. There's just a lot more we can still do with skincare and maybe body skincare, maybe color stuff, you know, before we get into hair. Hair is a totally different category, really.
And it's funny that you say that, because I am quite the beauty expert. I mean, I've been in this industry a very long time. Makeup and skin are my thing. When it comes to hair, it is so different.
Yeah,
And I'm
totally.
sitting there trying to fix my own hair, like literally fix the damage. And I'm like using my experience because it's so confusing to me because hair is so different. Like, what products do I use? What order? All of this to really be a better educator because hair is so different. It's such a different universe. And I'm going through this process myself, being like, this is people's experience with skin and skincare, what I'm feeling now. And like trying to just be
Right,
so
right.
aware of that process because it's so different. It's
Yeah,
not like worth it to just try and come out with stuff to have it if it's not going
right.
to be like incredible and like true to who we are as.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, like we're not going to do anything just to do it or just to have a product for something. We're only going to do something that we feel like this can be like one of the best products on the market and definitely the best at this price. So we're not going to just like do hair so we could sell more
Yeah.
stuff. You know, we're only going to do it if we're confident we can make an incredible, like game-changing product.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Alex. Is there any parting words you want to leave with our incredible VIPs?
No, I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for inviting me on. Like I said, I've been watching you all do these for quite a while now. Always love how well you connect with the customers, educate them, help them with overcome their confusion. So it's really great to see all the comments and all the customers on here. So thank you to all the customers. We know you all have a choice when it comes to skincare. We really appreciate that you choose to trust and go pure for your skincare needs. And that's really all I have to say this time. So thank you all.